And right now, we're just 7 hours away from tonight's Pennsylvania Senate debate. You can watch it live exclusively here on Newsmax. All candidates are expected to be there. And our own Tom Basile is in Grove City, Pennsylvania, with more on what we can expect tonight. Hi there, Tom.
Hey there, John and Bianca. Yeah, if you thought that the Ohio race was exciting and that was a nail-biter, Pennsylvania may be even more of a nail-biter. This is going to come right down to the wire, it looks like. And as you mentioned, at 8 p.m. tonight, 2 weeks before the primary here, we're going to have the 5 leading candidates for the Republican nomination for United States Senate here at Grove City College with a Newsmax-sponsored debate, again, starting at 8 p.m. Now, most of the recent polling here shows Dr. Mehmet Oz clinging to a small lead over finance executive David McCormick. Dr. Oz, he's hoping that former President Trump's endorsement does for him what it did for J.D. Vance in Ohio that we saw last night. Of course, he continues to get criticized by his opponents, questioning his conservative credentials. But you know, one of the other things we might be looking for in this race, and we saw it also in the Ohio race, is that as the two front runners are kind of locked in a very, very tight battle, sometimes voters start looking for an alternative, a third late surging candidate. Some here in Pennsylvania think that that could be conservative commentator Kathy Barnett. She was on the debate stage last week with this group, and she pulled no punches going after the two leading candidates. So John and Bianca, with, as you mentioned, the Roe v. Wade leak out of the court and recession fears, so much going on. This is going to be a debate to watch.
It sure is. It starts at 8 p.m. We know you'll be there bringing us all the latest. Tom Basile live for us at the scene of the debate. Thanks, Tom.
All right. Also, let's check in now with one of those candidates who will be on that stage tonight, former U.S. Ambassador to Denmark, Carla Sands. Great to have you back with us, Ambassador.
It's so good to be with you and your viewers. You know, last week's debate, I actually won that debate. But, you know, the next morning they had the person that scored the lowest on that debate on one of your competing networks. It's unbelievable how the mainstream media has attempted to silence my campaign. But don't trust the polls. Just like President Trump had the secret weapon of all of his grassroots organizing, we have that across the Commonwealth. And the voters know I'm the only candidate who actually worked for President Trump in his administration as the U.S. ambassador to Denmark, Greenland, and the Faroe Islands. And my other conservative opposition, Kathy, actually, she gaslights her supporters. She doesn't tell them she lost her last election by 20 points in a red wave year.
I want to focus on your campaign specifically. I know you tweeted out today, congratulations to J.D. Vance, and you talked about the importance of that endorsement. We know Dr. Mehmet Oz has that endorsement, but another kind of interesting parallel between what's happened in Ohio and what could potentially happen in Pennsylvania is that Trafalgar poll we put up on the screen. You're not on the top 3 list, but just like in Ohio, the Trafalgar poll in Pennsylvania shows even more undecided voters in Pennsylvania. In fact, 17% of voters in Pennsylvania for this GOP primary are undecided. So, I mean, look, this is really anybody's race at this point.
Toe-to-toe with him, having my experience in the Trump administration, countering Russia and China, increasing our economy by increasing our trade over 43%. I understand the issues, and I'm the only one who does. Everyone talks about America First. I've actually done America First. And we have a website, carlasands.com. I hope that the Pennsylvania voters will look at my campaign and know that I will always fight for you. And I will go to Washington and take our Pennsylvania values, along with my faith, my business experience, my diplomatic experience, and I will fight for the America First agenda every single day in Washington on your behalf.
You know, I was backstage with President Trump in North Carolina when he told me he was going to endorse Dr. Oz. And when I came out from backstage and started telling people, they were surprised a little bit that he would do this. I mean, considering you worked in his administration, what was your reaction to that endorsement?
Well, you know, President Trump doesn't always get the best advice. And Oz can't close the deal, but neither can Dave McCormick. They flip-flopped on so many issues in the past that voters don't trust them. They don't trust them to go to Washington and fight for them. They're tired of sending Jeb Bush-type Republicans to Washington and watch us lose our country, our freedom of speech, all of our constitutional rights are under attack by the left, the leftists, the Marxists, and go along to get along Republicans are not fighting back. This is the 11th hour for our country and our freedoms. These people, they're moving us toward Venezuela, not Danish style socialism. And Americans and Pennsylvanians must reject this because we're already seeing the devastation in our economy. The radical Biden administration has created chaos around the world. We need a strong American leadership in order to have peace, because it's peace through strength. And that's what I advocate for. And I want to bring opportunity back to Pennsylvania, because we've been trending in the wrong direction for over 40 years, diminishing, and economic growth has been stagnant because companies and jobs moved offshore, often to Asia. We need to bring those companies and jobs back, and we're going to do it largely in the energy sector. We're going to mine and we're going to drill. We're going to harvest that energy. We're going to lay the pipes and move it around our country. We must, because we can see that energy, it's not just a commodity, it's a weapon, and we must be able to have energy dominance once again, like we had under the previous administration.
Everybody shot it down, thought it was crazy, but I'd still love to think about what the world would look like if you guys actually were able to buy Greenland and then have a military base there and get some energy. Different conversation.
We have a military base there.
Well, you know what I mean. You know, it would be a different conversation as it relates to Vladimir Putin today. But real quickly, we had Dr. Oz here on the network just before we came on the air for our show. He was on National Report. I'm going to play a clip from him. Here's what he had to say about tonight's debate.
When you're the front runner, folks try to get at you. That's what's supposed to happen. These primaries are about ensuring that you're ready for the general election, and this general election is critical. Holding on to our Republican seat in Pennsylvania, addressing the issues you were just talking about. But number one question I get asked on the campaign trail is about inflation. And in Pennsylvania, that translates to energy policy, because even the folks serving you coffee in the diner know that the energy programs that Biden's foisting on us is hurting our nation's ability to defend ourselves.
Now, he's right. We have a poll from Monmouth University that shows inflation is the #1 issue for Pennsylvania voters, 56%. But where does your energy policy differ from Dr. Oz's energy policy?
Well, so energy harvesting is energy harvesting, but we know that the inflation is hurting our working families and our seniors on a fixed income. And I will work in Washington to stop the out-of-control spending. I'll stop the Biden administration by voting against these big, bad, multi-trillion-dollar bills. And also, when Pennsylvanians are pumping their gas, I want them to think of Carla Sands for the Senate, because I'm going to bring that price down. It's outrageous what energy and gas and groceries are costing right now. And it's thanks to the Biden administration. They're multi-trillion-dollar bills, and then also the Biden administration's war on Pennsylvania and American energy. I'll work to be the energy senator representing all Americans and Pennsylvanians, because we know this is a national security issue. But I'll bring down the inflation. Voters don't trust Mehmet Oz. He is not even from Pennsylvania. He's from New Jersey. He served in the Turkish military. He put Turkey first, not America. He didn't serve in the American military. In fact, on Twitter, when I posted a turkey first with a young man who had shot his turkey on the first day of turkey hunting season on Saturday, Twitter put a warning under my turkey first picture.
Yeah, well, you know, we got to be concerned about the actual turkeys, not humans. They're concerned about the turkeys on Twitter, among any other things. A little preview of what we can expect to see tonight. I know it will be fire between you and Dr. Oz and the other candidates as well. Carla Sands, thanks so much for spending some time with us.
Thanks so much.